Hey everyone, I am Josh.
I'm Jack.
And this week's guest is Dorothy Somerville. We've got a great episode for you, so stay tuned. You're listening to Magic City Neighbors on the Mic, where we talk to your Barberton neighbors about their stories, their insights, and what gets them laughing. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And now, to the show. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in this week. This week, we want to talk the Barberton Community Foundation's annual Game Changer nominations are open from Monday, May 1st through Friday, June 16th. We are asking the Barberton community to help us identify those individuals and organizations who deserve recognition for their accomplishments. The award is designed to recognize two entities, a Barberton individual and a Barberton organization who have served as catalysts for their involvement in the Barberton community and have made a positive impact in Barberton through their leadership, vision, and commitment. Nominees should be connected to the community through their work, volunteerism, or residency. Our 2022 Game Changers were Mike Moore and the Barberton Firefighters Association Local 329. You can submit a nomination at www.barbertoncf.org. As we mentioned before, I am Josh.
I'm Jack.
And this week, our guest is a Barberton Game Changer winner from 2020. It was 2020, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Dorothy Somerville, thank you very much for coming on today. We really appreciate it. You're a busy woman, so we appreciate the time because it's a stretch.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
To me, one of my big questions is, so there's BACM. Mm-hmm. There's other stuff you're involved in. And I mean, I know BACM is one of the ones that you've received a lot of recognition for, but what are some of the other things besides everything that you're involved in?
Oh, well, those have come a lot after the award. I'm a board member of Safe Harbor, the drug and alcohol rehab program. I was on the welcoming committee at the International Welcome Center in New Franklin. That was for the refugees, the legal immigrants that were coming into the country. I was on that board when it first started to get it organized. I'm currently serving on the Main Street board for downtown Barberton, which is a revitalization of the downtown area. I belong to the Kiwanis of Norton, and I belong to the Rotary of Barberton. I attend St. Augustine Church. I belong to the Moose and am active in the Moose. I also hold a membership in VFW and Civitan, but I don't go there quite as much. But I'm around town.
That's it?
That's it. That's all I do.
That to me is a list for 5 or 6 people. Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, that's phenomenal. So, I mean, your involvement with BACM has been a key for them. What led you to that?
To BACM?
Yeah.
I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 40 years, and I had injured my back seriously and had a major surgery, and it was getting where, like, okay, it's time to probably do something different. And one day the opportunity came up for the job for BACM, and I had been on their board for a couple years. And I thought, well, why not? Let me see if I could maybe do this job. Never dreaming it was going to turn into the event that it has. But I applied for it, and they did choose me. And I've not looked back. I'm starting my 6th year with BACM. And I just love it. I love helping people, and this is my way to continue to give back to the community.
I mean, what drives you in this? Because BACM has moved forward a lot under your guidance.
I saw that I did a lot of nurse case management in my previous job, which was for discharging people home and setting them up with services, trying to get them back home so that they could, after a successful rehab stay, that they would be in their own homes. And I just brought a lot of my information and acquaintances to BACM with me, and I started doing that, all those things there. Helping people, and that's just what I like to do. So
it's just the helping people's the driver behind this.
It is. And I'm just really driven to be better, to be a better person and to, really help out.
What's the reward in it for you? I mean, is it the smiles? Is it the stories?
It is. And then the stories too, where there's people who come in and thank me. I mean, and some of the things are just way off base that you wouldn't think we'd do at a food pantry. For instance, I had a woman whose husband had passed away and she didn't have any funds to bury him. So I worked on that and got that taken care of for her. And there's just, just little things that I'll do that I just, feel like I'm really making a difference in someone's life.
Wow. So there's a broad spectrum here then. So it's not, people obviously think of the food pantry initially.
Right. That's our biggest program. I mean, it is our food, the food giveaway that we do. We do that on every Monday and Thursday from 1 to 5. And we see about close to 300 families a week now. Wow. And we do home delivery to the senior citizens. And I've always worked with senior citizens. So that's always been a special part in my heart with seniors and veterans. And I just, we do home delivery to the seniors and to veterans. And I started doing all these other things, helping people fill out forms for the VA and getting Medicare and Medicaid, helping them with their Social Security. And I'm certified through OSHIP, which is Ohio Department of Insurance for seniors. And I can do their compare plans and pick them out the best plan that'll help cover their medications and things. So I just do a lot.
So that's a few more jobs that you've added to that
just
list.
Little things that I add on.
Couple things.
Yeah.
What does it take to feed 300 families? How does that happen? I mean, to me, if you tell me to feed like 2 or 3 families, sure, we throw something on the grill and we're in good shape.
It was a process in learning, like how much to buy. And when I first started, we only maybe had, if we had a busy week, we might have had 60 families. Yeah. And now here we are like, over 300. So it was just a process of learning how, and I have a very excellent pantry manager who's able to help with ordering. I've taught her and we just order. And, and when I first went in, they used to just give out hot dogs or bologna. And when I walked in and saw that, I said, this will not be happening anymore here. So
are you not a fan of hot dogs and bologna?
Well, I am, but that's not a very nutritious dish to be given.
No, it's not. It's definitely not.
No, it's easy. And that's what the clients will choose. They will choose things like that rather. But we purchase all of our food through the Akron-Canton Regional Food Bank.
Okay.
It's not free. There are some things that are free,
right? But
food is not free at the food bank. In fact, it's 3 times the amount that we were paying last year. I just pulled up bills actually last week after a meeting to check the amounts. Now,
has the quantity gone up a fair bit too, or is that just the inflation of the price?
It's the inflation of the price. It's not just the quantity. It's the inflation of the prices of what we paid for. And then we do have many local churches. We have about 30 churches in the area that support us faithfully. They take up collections every week where people bring in food. And then Monday or Tuesday, somebody from their church brings the food over to our pantry in the morning and, unloads it. We check it to make sure it's good and, not out of date and everything. Yeah. And then we also get monetary donations from the church. We're totally a nonprofit. We get money from grants, and things like that, and generosity. Barberton is a very generous community. Agreed. A very, very generous community. And if I put something out there that we need something, we've got it.
That's awesome. It is one of the things that I know I love about the community is the sense of community here. And we've said it on other shows too. This sense of community in this city is unlike nothing else I've ever seen.
It isn't. And so there's so much happening that, and we did expand because we've always had Norton, Barberton, and Doylestown. But we have New Franklin that we help now too. And we also do Clinton and Portage Lakes, 44319. We go by zip codes. And we have a number of churches and families in that area that do support us quite well.
Wow. So
that's a lot.
Yes. Yeah. And on that note, go ahead with your questions, Jack, because I'm going to sit here astounded.
What steps have you taken to work up to being executive producer for BACM?
What steps did I take?
Yeah.
They just took a chance on me.
Really?
Because I had a lot of nonprofit. I've always worked for nonprofits and I always liked fundraising. And I felt that BACM could have always done better on their fundraising than what we had. And they took a chance. And that's why I'm here today. I guess I hit it right. Yeah.
That's a hell of a chance.
They did. No, they took a big chance on me. because, you know,
Good investment for them.
their funds were down. And then we've had a lot of legacy giving, which that is how we purchased our building. We've had, you know, and because we did not separate the food money and the building money are two different things.
Okay.
So we do have our building now free and clear, and that was through legacy giving. So we didn't take anybody's donation. Like if you gave us $100, that $100 didn't go into the pot to pay for the building.
Wow.
And so we've had, you know, we had a couple of very generous donors who passed away.
And so you said the building's free and clear.
Yes.
So I mean, really, there's some operational expenses, but beyond that,
but there is operational expenses in the foods because we just got the building within the last 3 months. And that was my biggest goal because they asked me my 5-year plan. And I said, I want to start a resource center. So we're starting a resource center.
Wow.
That's all.
That's what I'm doing now in my
That's
spare
it, yeah.
time is my resource center.
Did you hear that?
Something on the side?
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little.
Just a little side job with
Yeah.
the other
No, I
30
mean,
things.
everybody's involved, and there's a lot of worthwhile organizations that want to be part of us that will be coming in. We'll have alternating days of the month for them, you know, because we're not going to have it open every day with all these, you know, office services in there. But we're just working on that. For instance, I do have the VA coming in, which will take some of my load off too, because there'll be people who will be able to fill out these forms that I normally do.
Nice.
And it will, you know, extend our services. And people won't have to drive into Akron or, you know, wherever to get help. I will start off with a AA meeting, probably going to be on Wednesday evenings. We'll be starting that.
Nice.
That's one of our first easiest things to start with. I've been in negotiations with SUMA to see if they're going to be working with the family practice docs. I got to meet their new residents. So they'll be there for a few years. They came in and toured, and they're getting involved with
So are they
us.
going to have like an office in there or something?
Yes,
or?
they probably will. They'll have something in there. We're not sure what we're doing yet, but you know, that's part of the plan.
So something like small free clinic-ish or something like
you know,
that?
something along that line, or something that can help like with the
Wow.
insurances and things like that. Catholic Charities will be involved, which they are now. They will come in and they'll be able to help people pay rent, you know, do things, you know, like that. And it's all not just about the handout. We want to do the hand up. So I'm also going to have GED classes, and Judge McKinney's going to be coming in and holding his driving clinics there to help people get their licenses back.
That's awesome.
And I'm working with United Way also to see, because they have financing programs. They have banks that will lend people of lower income money to buy them homes and things. So those are just a few. Oh, I forgot about these guys. The Journey into Wholeness Ministries will be there. They'll probably be there twice a week. They're going to be counseling people, and they're a great group, a husband and wife team. So they'll be doing some counseling, which leads us into Early Childhood Resource Center. It's run by the Sisters of Charity out of Cleveland, and they are actually working with Children's Service Board, because the 44203 zip code has the highest number of child abuse incidents. They're like number one. You're usually number 1 or 2 on the list.
Wow.
And it's like food insecurity, you know, maybe verbal abuse, you know, not having enough clothing or resources or anything. But they'll be holding parenting classes there too. And this way, people aren't going to have to get into Akron or wherever. They'll be able to come locally for help. And I'm hoping that that's going to make a big impact. Yeah. That's my biggest plan right now.
One of many.
I know.
That's my biggest plan
Yes.
out of the 462,978.
Well, that's the biggest thing, because I'm just appalled to hear that we have that many children in our area. Plus the fact we have the highest number of aging veterans and senior citizens.
Makes sense.
And that's the 3 groups I'm really trying to target.
And it's so funny because I love your talk on it's a hand up, it's not a handout. Mm-hmm. Because when you're in these situations with like the food insecurity, that is something that very quickly does lead to child abuse.
It does, yes.
If you're stressed that you can't feed your kid, you're obviously going to be a little bit short of a temper, maybe.
Right.
There's so many other things that lead into that just it snowballs. That if you give someone that hand up, as I like how you worded that hand up, like, hey, here's a bit of help. That prevents, so it's prevention. It's that ounce of prevention is a pound of solution in so many ways.
And that's something that my friend Paula Callio and I, you know, we always say that. That's one of our little terms of things, because we do believe in that. We want to help people out.
That makes perfect sense.
You know?
To me, I think we're to our. Are you good with going to the rapid fire? Yeah, I think it's rapid fire
ready.
time. So
Okay.
I mean,
Are you ready?
But yeah, I was about to say.
Yes. Let's see what you got for me
The
here.
seatbelt light is on.
Okay.
So I mean, with the expansion soon to come, what are some volunteer opportunities right off the top of your head that you may have?
We have many. Actually, right now we have like landscaping outside. I have a couple volunteers out there today that are doing mulch and stuff like that they've donated. We've had people in the community donate tools so we could, because we don't have any of that stuff. We're a food pantry. And we do have limited funds, and I have to watch. I can only spend the money that I have for food on food. And, and I don't have a lot of building, which we're working on getting a campaign together for our building, to renovate and everything.
Nice.
Do you have any plans to do a class on how to cook?
We do. Yes. I forgot about that. We partner with Ohio State Extension, and they come out a couple times a year, and they teach like 6 to 9 week classes on cooking. And we also have a garden. This year we have gardens available. People are doing their own garden plots. And then we also are doing some so we can we'll have plenty of fresh vegetables for the summer.
Nice. Someone asked this question. When do you sleep? Do
Not
you
a whole
sleep?
lot.
I mean, do you have a clone?
No. But I do.
No clone.
I go to bed by 11:30 after Big Bang Theory. And then I go to sleep, and then I wake up about 4, and then I start thinking, and I keep a little notepad by my bed. And as I think of different things, I just write them down.
Jot them down.
She sleeps less than I do. I love it.
But my husband had passed away from COVID, and he had a long illness, and it was, and it's just something. I don't sleep, but I'm trying to, he believed in me and thought I could do this. So I'm really trying to show him that I can. So
Awesome.
I believe you have proved him right.
Yes.
I believe you have proved him right.
He always told me I shortchanged myself. So
What's your favorite short story from what you do?
my favorite short story for what I
do
do.
you have a story from?
There's just so much. There's so many people that are thankful.
Yeah.
We get some crazy calls though too, with people wanting us to buy them a car. We had that one last week, and it was like, okay, yeah, you wouldn't believe, because sometimes we have to say, yeah, we're really a food pantry, but people will call for odd things.
Nice. What are some events that are coming up?
We actually have one of our biggest fundraisers on July 29th. It is Bikers for BACM, and you can participate by being on a bike or taking your car or whatever. But at the end game is usually about 5:30, and we'll be meeting at Block 7, who's been very gracious. This is their 3rd year of hosting us for the end, and they donate all the food.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because Tonda, in her memory, she was a very great supporter of BACM and really believed in what we do.
That's awesome.
So
that is an event that we will definitely put a link in the show notes for you guys. And we'll also make sure that we put something on the site and that for you.
thank you.
Awesome.
To me, we're to our big traditional questions now. And these are the big ones. What is your favorite Barberton folklore / tall tale / rumor?
The only thing that I have really heard that's intrigued me has been that Lake Anna was bottomless. So you don't know what's there. That's
a popular one.
Yes. That's probably the most popular one.
That has been a popular one. And I think if anyone's a diver that would like to show us what's on the bottom of that, or that there is a bottom of Lake Anna, if they can get to it.
They don't just go all the way through to Lake Erie or anything.
Right. That if anyone's willing to donate that to the show, we would take that as a donation.
That would be great.
What do you see as the future for Barberton, and where do you think we're headed, and like what are some of the bright spots?
I think we're headed in the right direction. I think Main Street, I know that everybody says, oh, they've tried all this before, but not like this. I mean, I think it's going to be a really great thing for the community. And it's going to bring the community closer together. It's going to bring new people in. I'm excited to see that they're going to be building lofts for apartments and everything. And look what they've done down on Howard Street there by Luigi's, those apartments. So, if they can do it down there, they can certainly do it in Barberton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the spot. And it's funny. Our next guest is going to be Josh Gordon.
Oh, I'm on his committee. I'm on his committee too.
Yes. So
there's another added thing.
Yeah,
I was about to say that will be an excellent segue for our next guest.
Oh yeah, he can really give you. I mean, it's very exciting.
Yes.
And Barberton has always been the place ever since I was a young girl. My father was a nuclear engineer at B&W.
Yeah.
And everybody, we always came to Barberton. that there was nowhere else to go. I lived out in New Franklin, well, Manchester at that time. There's nothing out there anyway yet. So, but you always came to Barberton to shop, to go to restaurants, go to movies or whatever. So
nice.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to seeing this area, brought back up. We're glad we're in here now ahead of it. So that way we can watch this change.
And it'll be some jobs and maybe help some people get their dream jobs, open some little shops and things.
Yeah.
And then, that's something too, that with the United Way, they'll be able to help people. There's going to be small business grants and there's just a lot of things out there. We just got to get it together. And I really like the idea of having everything under one roof at BACM for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really good. To me, I really appreciate your time today. I know you've got to get back to helping people because there's that long list that you have of things that you do and on. I really appreciate you coming in today. Everyone, make sure that you go support BACM. Once again, thank you for tuning in this week, and we will catch you guys next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.